This video is brought to you by ZZR Styles, your online boutique destination. Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. My name's Michelle with Green Shutter Cottage. Today we are going to do a car decal. For this car decal, I wanted about 5 inches wide. Length, I wanted about a 5x5. Now that's just a maximum size both ways, so maximum 5 inches wide, maximum 5 inches tall. So this one I've already got the 5 inches wide, so it makes it about 4 inches. To get that size, I just lock this little guy, the aspect ratio, and then I go to the largest section, largest number. So let's say that's the size it opened up as. It would be a 7.8 by a 6.2 or 6.3. I would go to the largest section, type in 5, and I have the ratio aspect locked, so it'll adjust both sides instead, or both height and width instead of just the one. Now, since I'm doing a car decal, I'm using adhesive vinyl. So I am using 651 Oracal because that is a permanent vinyl. So we are cutting without the mat. You can see I don't have a mat around, so what I do, I'll pull up the mat real fast. So this might be what your page looks like when you pull it up. So I go to cutting mat, none. So that way I have no cutting mat. Now I have the original Silhouette cutting machine, so you might want to, so how it works for the 2, 3, and recently came out 4 Silhouette Cameo, it's a little different, but make sure your machine is set up also to load media instead of load cutting mats. Each way is slightly different on how it's done, but I just want you to be aware that you will need to change that. I won't show you how because, like I said, I have the original. I'm about 3, well, I guess now 4 cameos behind. I just really like the originals and they work very well for me, so I just haven't spent the money to buy the new one. So today's silhouette, or today's decal, is going to be Fur Mama. I got this one from Hungry JPEG. I'm not an affiliate of theirs, I don't get paid for telling you that, but just want to let you know where I got it, just in case you want to find it, if they still have it up. I got it last year, so I've had this for a while. I'm gonna do more than just cutting the one, because I don't really like cutting, well, it just allows me to cut a straight line across instead of cutting sections. So what I just did there was Alt, and then I clicked it and drug it over. So that gives me 2 Fur Mamas. I just want to center it just so they're cutting level, and you click send. That takes you to this page right here. I have my own setting that I created. I call it Oracal 651. Imagine that, I'm using Oracal 651. But if you don't have that, just go to vinyl. Since the most recent update, it would be vinyl Oracal 651, or you can go Oracal, or you can go vinyl glossy, which is what it used to be. If you wanted to do their settings, their recommended settings, I tend to play with my settings until I find the best one that I like. So mine is slightly different than what is the recommended. So if I push glossy vinyl, you would see it just took the blade to 1, force 10, speed 5. This is the overcut. I personally like the overcut on, so that's how I played with it. So if I go back to 651, you can see I have it set to blade 2, force 12, and speed varies depending on what I'm cutting. Sometimes I have gone down to speed 1, sometimes I can do speed 10, so it just really depends on what you're doing. I could probably technically do a speed 5 with this, because it's pretty big, pretty wide and all that, but I'm just going to keep it on 3, just because I feel better then. So, I like all my settings. I have it set to send. Now we're ready to load. I have a roll right here. You can kind of see it right here. The silhouette for I here has it built in. That's kind of nice. But I have a connection. Here, I'll move the camera so you can kind of see it. It just holds my extra vinyl. Alright. So now I am going to load it. Oh, one more thing. Again, this is different depending on what silhouette you have, whether it's the original, 2, 3, or 4. Make sure you move this guy. It's usually over here if you're loading a mat. You can see kind of the little notch. I moved it over to the next one. Okay, and now we're gonna send it. If you have don't have your cut settings correct, or you haven't cut yet and you don't have your cut settings, you'll want to press test cut right here. What it does is it does a square and a triangle. This is a great way so you do not waste all your vinyl. Because otherwise I would be wasting a 10 by, well, like a 12 by 6, let's just say, or 12 by 5 piece of vinyl. That is 2 decals of my 5-inch decals, or it can be an entire set. It can be, let's see, cups are usually about 2.5 inches wide, so that's 6 cups. I mean, it builds up if you do that enough. So you will want to do test cut right here. I already have my settings, so I'm just going to send. So I go from the outside because I want the decal part. This isn't a stencil, this is a decal. So I want the decal part to stay. This will help me to know what needs to be weeded within the design, because I'll have the outside completely weeded. So I start with a corner, doesn't matter what corner. It could be your favorite corner. I'm right-handed, I tend to start with the left side. That's just the way it is. Sometimes I'll start down here, you know, just depends where I'm feeling it. And then if your cut was good enough, it should just peel right up. Now, I'm okay that some of that just ripped off, because we will fix that. You can see right here it just ripped. That's actually something I want to weed, so I'll just pull it right out. Just like that. You can see right here is vinyl I don't want. It ripped. That's okay. In fact, that makes it easier because you have less going on. Of course, the sticky vinyl, it doesn't want to come off my finger. And there you have it. There is one. Now, we'll do it again with the second one. Again, I find a corner, and I find a corner, and I just peel. Just like that. Again, you can see it ripped. It didn't pull out the A on either of them. It actually ripped the vinyl, but I want it out, so that is just fine. And then the middle of the R. And that's what's great about the pins, is it's nice for picking up. I like it better than the Silhouette tools, honestly. I have one of those. I don't like it. So that is it. Next thing, all you need is your transfer tape. Oh, this is stuff I got off of Expression Vinyl. In fact, I think it's theirs. You will want some sort of scraping tool. I stick it to the end like that. And then since this is so little, I can just, it's not quite as hard. The bigger your design, your cut, the harder it is to do this, honestly. And then I just scrape it on so I have no bubbles. Just like that. I would not do 2 at a time unless you're a little more experienced, honestly, but I am a stickler for using as much space as possible, having as little waste as possible. And then you just cut it. So yes, you do need scissors. And that is how you do these. And then you can cut them to the to match the size of your paper, or you can leave it just like this, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing what I'm doing and going to sell these, you want to make sure it is all cut right through there. So you make sure it's sticking nice. That's also what this tool is good for. The reason why you push down, do this, is because you want it to come up when you sell them. You want it to be able to you want to be able to pull it up, place it on whatever surface you're placing it on, and peel away. You don't want it to continue sticking to this backing, to this backing right here. You want it to come up off of that. So that's why you make sure that you varnish it really well. I think that's the term. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I say squeegee. It's a squeegee. So that's why you do that very, very well. Otherwise, it won't come up. You or your customer or both of you will have a headache and not be happy with it. So just make sure that you varnish it, squeegee it, whatever you want to call it. You want to do that very well. Otherwise, so that way you don't have that problem. I will have this, like I said, I am selling this. If you would like to purchase this decal, I will have a link below so that way you can find where to purchase it. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, be sure to hit subscribe down below. I will see you next time on our next video. Bye.